All right, here we go. So this is what I got. This is a Gentech. Get straight to the meat and potatoes here. Gentech torch. You can see the logo there. Oxygen propane lines coming in already pre-wired. The tip I had to just screw on, which it just you bolted on. Propane and oxygen. They're labeled as such. And it comes with these two fittings here. This is 115 bucks on eBay, something like that. Shipped, it wasn't much more than that. I went and got some of these little pipe clamp things. Don't know the diameter, but they go down pretty small. They go down really small, because you're gonna cut into your main torch line. Now I have a single stage torch, I think is what this is referred to as. I'm not sure, but I only have two lines coming in, whatever you want to call it. So two lines coming straight from my oxygen and propane bottle. They go down here, and I've already got it pre-selected right there on that line. Basically, I'm going to cut the tubing. It's just rubber tubing. I'm going to cut it with regular scissors. And I got this fitting right here. Now, this was recommended to me by Mike Mason, and you have to modify things a little bit to get this thing to work, but it's not really that much. It's not a big deal. You're just cutting the rubber tubing, installing it back on these braided fittings, and then tightening them down with those clamps. So obviously one side is oxygen, so you'll attach your oxygen line here, and it'll go through there. Your propane will go through the other one, and then you have these little valves which you can turn and allow different amounts of pressure to go to your mini torch, which just really fits right on top of that, and that's it. So I'm going to cut the tubing now, and I'm going to attach this piece. This piece you can get. I got it at Mountain Glass Arts, I think is where I got it. It was 65 bucks. I'll link it in the description of the video. I'll also try to link the Gentech torch on eBay. But you know how those auctions go. Sometimes they cancel them and start other ones, so that link may not work for long. Of course, these guys, you can just pick those up. Any local hardware store has those. And so, alright, I'm going to cut the line, I'm going to put it on, and we'll go from there. Alright, there it is, guys. It was surprisingly simple. I cut the tubings, the oxygen and propane are going to the torch from the propane and oxygen tanks. And I'm going to install the piece now. Alright, and to do that, you're going to have to separate these two tubes to give them a little bit of clearance in here so you can add your pipe clamps. Alright. Quick tip, while you're fitting these things to your hose, you do want to make sure that you have the right valve on for the right tube. And so what I did was I just plugged the mini torch's fitting onto here. So I know this is, since it's green, it's my oxygen. I know for a fact. So it's going to go into my green fitting here. And I'll tighten this down, put the other side on, and then I'll do the other side with this one. And I'll know for a fact I have them the right way, and that's a good way to check it. Alright, so there it is installed, guys. Had a little mishap with the screwdriver there, but no worries. Everything's installed, and red to red, green to green, and I'm going to close these valves, which I believe is what's closed on there, and I'm going to put some oxygen and propane to the torch and do a leak test and then a fire test, and then we'll go from there. Alright, everything's installed, guys. Here it is, the final setup. You can see it on my line here going in. I had to remove the audio from this part of the video, so you'll see my hand kind of moving around. But you can see that everything's installed nicely. The propane goes where it goes. The oxygen is where it needs to be. You can see that the propane thing is notched. Make sure you always note that as well. When I first installed this, I had the propane open to 1 full turn and the oxygen to 1 full turn as well. Found out that was too much, and it blew out my torch, so I turned the oxygen down to 1/2 turn and that seemed to work perfectly. But you can see it's all installed there. I got it going, and gas is flowing to my main torch perfectly. So this is my second time to light the torch, and I did it with one hand, guys. Super simple stuff. Propane on first, oxygen on, and then boom, you got a mini flame there. I can tell you that in the small time that I've been able to use this thing, it's been wonderful. Making seals, putting bails on pendants is just so much easier when you can control exactly where the heat is going. So I'm very, very pleased with it. It's very nice, very sturdy construction. The Gentech it's built very well. I recommend it, and it's just one of those things that you need to pick up at just over $100, and then with some odds and ends, it's well worth it. It's gonna make your work a lot cleaner, a lot more smooth in tight spots, and that's what you're looking for. And there's another shot of the valve. Again, Mountain Glass Art, $65, and simple cut of the tube, and you're good to go. No big deal at all. There's the torch, Gentech. I'll link it in the description. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope this clears it up a little bit for some of you guys, make it a little simpler anyway. And have a good one.